Welcome back, terrestrials. In this episode, we're reviewing 1999's Idle Hands. This is a
Right.
personal favorite of mine. It is so nostalgic. I love it. I can't wait for Jerry to try and ruin this movie for me. So let's hop into it. Now, did you say you had never seen it,
I've
or
never
did
seen
you?
this.
Okay, so this is your first viewing.
This is my first time watching.
What's
Correct.
your first impression?
It was okay. It was
Yeah,
a decent horror movie.
fuck you. It was
What?
decent.
No. Okay, please. I am the student. You are the grandmaster here. Please, like, e- educate me. Okay. Like,
I
like,
mean,
where?
so
What do you? What is your enjoyment on this?
I mean, there's so many things to enjoy. Number one, it
Okay.
was a time and place. It was 99.
Mm-hmm.
It's a horror comedy. It's
Mm-hmm.
like that American Pie style teen comedy where it's like nut
Right.
sacks and weed and like dirt, like, but mixed with decent horror. Like they
Yes.
don't go out of their way to scare you with the horror, but it is still there. So first thing I love, Devon Sawa's acting, his physical comedy in this is
Okay.
great. Like him as an actor, he's gotten a lot better over the years. But in this, like his physical acting, his is like Jerry Lewis. Like, I mean, the way he's playing with the remote with his hands, and then he's like ringing the doorbell and flips over backwards. He like dives in, like he's just going full force into everything. And then
Yes.
on top of that, you've got Seth Green's character, which is just a smartass with all these funny one-liners where he's like, "Oh, maybe we should clean the microwave first." He's like, "Yeah, while we're at it, we'll clean the whole fucking house." Like that's me. That's my spirit animal. Like I'm that guy.
Your inner
So
beast.
yeah. So and then there's the horror element as well. That's just here's a demon that possesses people's hands
Hmm.
and it's been happening for thousands of years. This priestess is trying to hunt it down, and he cuts the hand off, lets it loose, like somebody else we know, and it runs amok on the town. It's being a
Right.
rascal all over the town.
Being a rascal.
Yeah, and
It
fun fact, that's the same neighborhood that the original Halloween was shot in.
seemed like it. It
Yeah.
does have that like California kind of. And that is one of like what did you like about this? I loved the set decoration, like
Mhm.
all the way the houses looked inside,
Right.
the way that the house, as I referred to him, Jay and Silent Bob Light,
Yeah.
his basement looked,
Yeah.
even down to like how the Safari Burger
Yeah.
joint looked.
Yeah.
It all really looked good, and it
Yeah.
was very cool and very unique, and they used lighting like in Jallo movies, like greens and reds, and
Yeah, when he's
these
out
real.
back with the shovel,
Mhm.
everything's red and shit. It's
Right.
yeah.
Like I really enjoyed that care to a movie.
Hmm.
Yeah, the acting, like you said, yeah, it's Seth Green, it's the Mighty
Yeah,
Ducks kids.
right.
um it's not, we're not talking about fucking Braveheart here.
It's
It's
got
fucking,
Roach.
yeah,
It's got Roach from People Under the Stairs.
yeah, for like a hot minute.
The only real
um
actor at that time was Fred Willard and Vivica Fox.
yeah.
Like those two were the like bomb actors at that time.
Right.
But it encompasses all that and it feels very Halloween. Like, yeah, it's set
I can see that, yeah.
the night before Halloween into Halloween night,
Hmm.
but like it feels Halloween timey. Like the music with like the little organs, not the shitty 90s music that they chose to play,
Oh
but
my
like
god,
the
fucking every
atmospheric
goddamn
music.
minute.
Yeah. the atmospheric music was really good. Like
Yeah.
somebody understood horror really well, and then was like, but also I want to make an American Pie. So like
Dawson's Creek.
they just put all these elements together. I think they blended it really well. Like you mentioned, the color.
Yeah.
But overall, it just feels like Halloween. It feels like high school Halloween, and that's where I was at in '99.
Right.
So
I was
and
getting
just
a
being stoned with your
little.
fucking friends and shit in basements and stuff like that was that time period. So it was just it
How
felt
old were
right. I
you?
feel
Like
like
you were
you
like
missed
in the middle school. What are you? No, no, no. I didn't say.
99. I was in high school.
Oh, you were in high school? Okay, yeah, I was like a junior. But no, I was a sophomore.
Yeah, I was a
Yeah,
freshman.
because it came out in April. So I guess I would have been a sophomore. But or a freshman or some shit like that. I don't know. But no, I haven't said one bad thing about it. I said it
I know.
was
I'm just saying all
okay.
the things that I liked
Yeah, yeah,
before you get a chance to go. But you know what did bother me? So I'm
well,
just shoving it all out there real
it'll
quick.
come. It'll come.
Um,
But I will say this just
yeah,
to gratify is that the things that I kind of just like were like meh. I didn't hate. Like I
yeah,
wasn't actively on the TV just going, "Grr, grr, what
right,
the
right,
fuck are they doing?" And I
right,
wasn't playing on my phone. I watched the movie
right.
because I kept my interest.
Hmm.
Um, but no, there is no like grr,
Yeah.
hate towards
Well,
this
I just
movie.
feel like
Okay.
you would have liked it more if you had seen it when it came out. Now
I don't.
that's a 50-50 thing
That's
of
a 50.
whether
Yeah.
like, but like that time period in your life,
Right.
that movie reminds you of that time period in your life because you were essentially the same age as these characters. So
Right.
every stupid thought that they had was making sense. Like we watched the Dracula music video on TV, whether we wanted to or not, we had to. It was everywhere. But like we did that. We smoked
Got
weed out of
Dracula in it.
weird things.
Was cool.
Like it we went to dances and parties for Halloweens and stuff like that. Like that time period, that's what we did. I saw it in that time period. And yeah, I just think that there's a lot of things that people overlook in the movie that make the movie better than it's given credit for.
Oh yeah, I mean there is that. It's not nostalgia. It's like fucking like walk down fucking nightmare lane kind of deal where it's just like, yep, I remember that shit.
Mhm.
It's definitely you know September 10th
Yeah.
feeling, but I think if I would have seen this as a kid or around that time you would have not got this review where I would have been like, because at that time I was like strictly old horror and there is no new horror. And
Yeah, I mean
unless
I
it's like
was
a
too.
Blair Witch or, a Ring at the
Right.
time,
Right.
it would have just been like fucking Dawson's Creek bullshit. Got the fucking Offspring in there, like
Right, right,
fucking,
right. But that's the whole thing because I think that there was that for me where I
mm,
was like, it's cool, but it's not horror. Like
yeah,
I was like snobby about it. Like, yeah, it's cool. It's like that thing, but it's not,
yeah.
it's not Halloween. It's not Texas. But now watching it again later, I can appreciate it more
Hmm.
because I'm looking back at it going, you know what, the head cutting off thing is funny. Like the head
Right.
rolls and he's like, cool.
Yeah.
Or those little things, and then he's like Seth Green's like putting down of Fulton Reed is just I can't remember his name, Nub or something in the movie. I can't remember.
It
Mighty
was
Ducks, he
fucking
was
Mighty Ducks
Fulton.
kid.
Yeah, Fulton Reed. So
Right.
but he's always like when the dude is making out with the blonde girl, he's like, ew, ew,
That's
it's
illegal.
illegal. Like
Yeah.
it's like those things
Huh.
add that comedy element to it, but there's a lot of horror in it too. So I don't know. I think for like comedy horrors,
Right.
this one's like at the top for me. I know it
I can
didn't.
see it, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
nah, it's like, you want to know my favorite part of the movie? I think this will really like, and not okay, like I'll get into other favorite parts,
The nurse,
but my
is that
no,
your favorite part? The
no,
nurse
not at
from
all.
Baytown Outlaws?
No. Well, in the Baytown Babysitters Club, yeah.
Yeah,
But my favorite thing, and I kept laughing my ass off on it,
yeah,
was the movie couldn't get the rights to shout at the devil,
yeah,
because if you listen when they're in Skis Boy's truck,
yeah,
it only plays the fucking loop of
yeah,
shout at the devil. That's all it's
yeah.
like, are they gonna
Well,
play the
it
rest of the
does do
fucking song?
the no, 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 no,
If
no.
you yeah, but there is no other lyric
Yeah,
fucking
yeah,
played
yeah,
other than shout at the devil.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then it just keeps repeating. And my brain kept on thinking, oh, I bet this guy just has a tape of just that part. Like he seems like the douchebag asshole that would just like record off of a CD onto a tape of just like, no, 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 I just like that one part. No, 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 I just like that one part and shit. And fucking just just like a tape.
Dude, my daughter was watching it with me, and when Anton wakes up the second night, like after he's murdered Nub and Mick,
All right.
he wakes up in his bed and there's the CDs laying all around him. My daughter goes, "Why are there donuts in his bed?" I was like, "Nope,
Yeah.
that's what music used to come on, sweetie."
Yeah.
Like it
Grandpap
wasn't.
pap. Yeah.
Yeah,
What's
exactly.
but yeah, and then another one of my favorite, it's probably my favorite scene, is the mom. She goes to investigate the noise downstairs in the beginning, and she runs down out into the hallway, and there's that one stairwell, like, that kind of catty corners, and the whole thing's green, not the
Yeah,
lighting, but the
yeah,
wallpaper, and it's this
yeah.
really nice green. And I was like, that is pretty cool hallway. I would love
That's
to
all
have
you
that kind
could
of
pull out of that.
green.
The
Yeah, like,
entire movie
yeah.
is the
The
wallpaper.
wallpaper is pretty cool. But then again,
Yeah,
I said that the set design and shit
yeah,
is
yeah,
fucking like really good. Like,
yeah.
oh man, I really like that.
I think the biggest thing for me is just really Devon Sawa's like physical acting.
Right.
Because like the whole time he's having to deal, like he has it tied up at one point and it's still doing this
Yeah.
shit, like all that stuff, like that's hard to do.
Yeah.
That's like hard to deal with. And I think I really, really enjoyed it. And I still really enjoy it when I watch it. It just hits, it
Yeah,
hits
it
all the marks for me.
it pays homage to a certain type of horror movie that was made, and I definitely see it. And like Jessica Alba, the only direction the director gave her was like,
Be
okay,
cute.
you're the ditzy blonde in the movie that
Yeah.
can't act, because like there was some line delivery that she was given, and I was just like, I don't think you say it like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, oh, I get it. It's like in one like a Jason movie, like, what was that noise upstairs? My brain was like, yeah, that's what she is. And
Yeah.
then at the end, she's the damsel.
But
Cool.
also she's the one that like ties the rope around the fan, kicks the vent out, slides down. Like she's being proactive about surviving too. So she's
Right. They
not
had to give her something to
just
do, dude.
well, yeah, yeah, I guess.
They,
And Mick's
they
like, you could get some. There's some.
yeah.
There's some. There's some. Like
Okay, we'll make you seem like Xena the Princess Warrior if you get in your brawling underwear.
they
Like,
wanted her nude, and she said no.
oh, thank God. Oh my
Yeah,
God, not for this movie. Not for this
yeah,
movie.
yeah,
You're like, no, no, no.
yeah.
Jessica, you're gonna have like a decent career of guys oogling at you. So fucking
Yeah.
not this one. Not this one.
I think this might have springboarded her into that career of
Yeah.
people oogling at her.
Right. I mean, that's what, because at first she's on the motorcycle, and my brain was like, oh, she's gonna be like this, like Kim from Scott Pilgrim. Like
Right,
she's gonna be a
right.
no nonsense, fucking just like, what are you doing over here?
Yeah.
Fucking idle hand Dawa. What are you doing over here? Like she calls him by his real name and shit. And like that's what I was thinking. But then like once we're introduced to her character and stuff, I was just like,
Yeah.
no, was not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Not what I was thinking.
She's just 90s hoe.
Right. All right. Do you want to talk about plot holes?
I mean, I know there's a few, so let's jump into them.
Um,
Also, I just real quick keep that in mind. You that was a classic Jerry name blunder. You
what did
said
I?
Dawa,
Ah,
it's
well,
Devon
yeah.
Sawa, so you
Okay.
just combined the names together and fuck it.
Fuck it.
Now
Yeah,
he's
fuck
like
it.
Prince. Like now he's like
This
Prince.
motherfucker's haunted this fucking show forever because it was like the first review we ever did together, and now we're here. We're here. Yeah.
What was it?
It was the fanatic.
That was the first thing we did together.
Yep.
All right, plot holes.
Yeah. Plot hole. So everything's hunky dory. At the end of the movie, even though he's got like 4 bodies rotting in a shallow trench outside of his house.
Yeah, two, I guess technically, because Mick.
Didn't they bury the cops?
I don't know what they did with the cops. They
No, so the
never.
cops are just sitting in the
Yeah, as far as I
living
can
room.
tell, because like he buries his parents, Mick and Nub, and Nick and Nub get up. So
Yeah,
they're zombies technically, and
right.
then they go to heaven or whatever. So there's only the 2 bodies in the ground. I don't know where the cops are, but
Right.
you do see that cop car still sitting there
Yeah.
later in the movie. And it's even got like the dew on the window because it's been sitting there for a while. It's like nobody thinks it's weird that there's an empty cop car just sitting out here on the
Yeah.
street like 4 hours straight. All right, cool.
It's
But
okay.
yeah, I don't know where the bodies went for that.
That's the whole thing I was thinking at the end of the movie where I was just like, how's he gonna talk those bodies out and stuff? It was the
Right.
hand. Oh,
Yeah.
sure. Fucking like, because Vivica A. Fox, she wasn't like a law enforcement.
Right.
She was just the druid witch from, ancient times or whatever,
Yeah.
So I wish they would have kind of like connected the dots
Like
on
you
that
want to
one.
see the court case after he gets out of the
Yeah,
hospital as
it's
to
the
how.
electric chair for murder.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, because technically he still murdered his parents,
right.
the cops, the Felstein twins, and Nick and Dove.
Yeah.
That's 8 bodies under his
Right. Nick and
at least.
they will just forever be missing personnel now and stuff. RIP,
Yeah.
But the one thing like I kept on like why didn't like so he says I haven't seen my parents in like 2 weeks or
He said
something.
a couple of days.
A couple days, okay.
Yeah.
And I can understand that he's a stoner and this is like
Yeah.
the first time he probably hasn't had any
This is
fucking
the first time
shit.
his hands ever been possessed and he's
And
killing people.
yeah,
So
so now he's
it's
just
all new to him.
realizing like, damn, I haven't seen anybody in like a
Yeah.
couple days. But how come he didn't remember murdering? I will admit I have, walked on the wild side with the wacky weed once or twice in my life. But I've never gotten that fucked up where I do not remember what the fuck I've done.
Not weed alone.
No,
Mixing it with
but
other
then again,
things, yes.
he
But
wasn't upstairs like
hey
weed and
man,
fucking
he's
Percocets or
so
something.
right. But so the first, like his parents, I don't understand that. But he did smoke the nutmeg and oregano thing. So
Yeah, but he didn't do that 2 nights in a row.
no, he
It
did
was
it
just
the
like,
next night and then he killed Nick and because remember he's
right,
like, why'd you make me smoke that shit, dude?
right. That's why he could remember shit probably, but unless he's like just a super lightweight, like he
Yeah,
just
I think it was just
but
he was asleep when he was doing it. Like the hand had control over him, and he was asleep.
maybe.
That's that's the way I feel like they tried to explain that. But yeah,
No, the explanation is they only had those actors for like 2 hours and they
oh, yeah,
needed to get them off fucking camera as quick as possible.
yeah.
But like, yeah, so that was always like, how come he didn't remember killing his parents and putting them in costume? Like, not only did he kill them, then he had to sit there and like one-handed
Yeah.
that shit on fucking uh his parents.
Seth Green.
You're
A
right.
clue.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Yeah, man,
Um
it's a clue.
Another thing I would have changed,
Yeah.
like I like, the zombie. I see that Jay and Silent Bob Light fucking being like production
Decision.
yeah, production decision. Like all three of them came in and read for the idle hand main character, which I'll never fucking remember is that guy, that kid's
Anton.
name. Anton. Okay, so they all read for, and they were like, I really like that Seth Green, and I really like that Mighty Ducks kid. Can we create another part? But I kind of wish that the people that he murdered
Yeah.
haunted him like an American Werewolf in London. Like not, yeah, dude, we were going towards the light and then we realized it's far away, so we came back. That seemed like a cop out. Like how do we explain zombies?
But see, that's the thing. Well, yeah, okay, so the explanation thing is weak, like, oh, we didn't want to walk that far. But the idea of having them to come back and help him fight the forces of evil slash his hand,
Right,
that to me is fun, and it's a comedy, so I can have fun with
right.
it.
It would have
So
been
like,
so much more fun if Seth Green the whole time was just telling fucking Anton, yeah, you should definitely kill yourself right now.
like the fucking Fulton is, he's holding his head. He's like, well, I was going to say what you should do is listen to the cops, but now fuck it,
Yeah,
kill
kill yourself.
him.
Like they're all just like the whole time they're hanging out, and it's like God, and like he's just seeing them in his mind,
Yeah,
just like in American Werewolf.
makes for
And
a lot less comedy,
yeah,
but
but
yeah.
well, I mean, yeah, right. They could be the whole time be like, I think if you like hung yourself, it would be a lot easier. Oh no, dude, pills would be, I could
Yeah,
just hear these stoners uh doing like banter, and then they were like, you know, but okay. Another thing that I would have liked to see, he cuts his hand off.
yeah,
Okay. And I thought that was a great idea. Okay, now we're gonna get that whole separate man. They should have cut his hand off way sooner, because then it's like you have like, it from the Adams family, like doing crazy shit,
yeah,
car splashes him with water and it's given the finger.
yeah,
And it's just, nope, it's after fucking what's her face? Can't remember her name now.
yeah.
Jessica Alba. I was gonna
Yeah,
call her
oh,
Alba
yeah.
Jessica.
All right, you're just not allowed to say names
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, I I think yes, cutting the hand off earlier could have been a lot more fun. But when he goes to like talk to Randy at the Jungle Burger or whatever it is,
Yeah.
and he's like pretending to work there or whatever.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I I also think that when he walks up to the drive-through window and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's break time" or whatever, the kid that turns towards the camera for a second, like the kid that's leaving the station, I think that's Tom DeLonge from Blink 182. Like I paused
Probably.
it and I was like, I gotta watch the credits at some
Right.
point. But
Doesn't make like it does
doesn't affect the
makes it,
movie at all. But
right. Yeah.
it just looks like him.
Makes
Um
complete sense. Of course a Blink 180 tour would be on this in this movie. Fucking but
the
yeah,
worst part about this movie was Dexter from The Offspring wearing an AFI shirt.
no, or just Offspring in general, like
I used to be on that train of like fuck the Offspring, but I don't know. I've never listened to more than Pretty Fly for a White Guy, so like I can't. I'm not going to go there because I've like the dude is like a fucking microbiologist, engineer, shit.
right,
Like
right.
he's a goddamn genius. So like maybe his music's good. Maybe I've just been a dick the whole time. So I need to explore them more before I shit on them. I
Right.
do, however, know who AFI is, and I can shit on them.
Yeah. Me, I don't give a shit. So fuck the offspring. I'll
Okay.
say
All
it.
right. Cool.
Fucking, you
Cool.
don't have
Yeah.
to, like
Pop
no,
the coochie. Pop,
you can keep
pop,
your hands
pop the
clean.
coochie.
Yeah, you can keep your hands fucking clean. Fuck the offspring. Uh, oh yeah, the pop music in this,
Yeah.
like there were points where like I guess you could call it like PTSD,
Yeah.
where I was just like, oh my god, not this song.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, not this song.
Yeah.
Oh my
I
god.
didn't. I don't remember most of the songs.
Yeah,
Like
because
the
it's like,
woo woo, like that song that starts with. I don't know that. I know
yeah,
the
but I know
Sublime
I
song.
I've
Yeah, I
I've
know
heard
it.
it like
Yeah,
over
yeah,
there
right.
where it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
fuck
exactly.
MTV
Yeah,
shit.
but like I don't know it off the top of my head. Like I can't
Right.
name the artist. Like so I can't name the Pop the Coochie song. I can't name the fucking song that they're listening to in Jessica Alba's room, which by the way didn't even sound that bad. Sounded kind of cool. I might check out see who that was because I'm sure it was some like
I don't know.
I don't know
It,
predating Michelle Branch type fucking girl singer.
the only
But
thing that this movie was missing was like Marilyn Manson's "Rock Is Dead."
I think
The only reason,
this
yeah,
was before Rock was dead.
because
This
yeah,
was Antichrist Superstar.
Manny
Oh no,
Christ.
Hollywood.
No, this was
Antichrist Superstar, bro. Is
99.
that dope rap album? Nah,
The
yeah, this would have been dope show. Would have
yeah,
been the
Dope Show
closest
would have
thing.
came out in
Yeah.
April. And this came out in April, so they couldn't have get the rights. Whereas I was waiting for the moment, like watching my watch, like I know
I
Dracula is gonna be in this
yeah,
motherfucker.
yeah, yeah,
And there
yeah.
it was. It was like a fucking I was like, okay, corn,
Well, because
no corn.
Dracula had a music video for this like movie.
Yeah.
There was like you know where they show clips from the movie in the thing that
Right.
like there was a version of it with that. So like it was the title track for the movie except
Right.
for Shout at the Devil
Oh,
on loop. What if
on loop.
what if you bought the soundtrack and it only looped that part for like 2 minutes
Right.
and you're like, wait a second, you guys didn't even get the fucking full song for the soundtrack?
Right.
Nope, just
Nope.
that one little part over and over again.
I do believe that the reason, I mean, there's so much of that 90s pop music in there is because they're trying to set up the soundtrack, because soundtracks were really big at that time.
Yeah, yeah, they were.
And that's what they were really trying to cram in there instead of like, you know, like underscore symphony, like yum bum 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 bum, or
See, but
like,
they did that too, because like you know when they're laying in the beginning of the movie, if you think back to the beginning of the movie, there is that like atmospheric
yeah,
piano, like synthy thing.
yeah,
Like they do that a bunch of times in the movie, and it's really good.
right,
It's just not enough, and I agree with you. I do think that they were pushing soundtrack thing
right.
there because I remember seeing the soundtrack to this. I didn't have it. I just had Hillbilly Deluxe
Yeah.
instead. So
So you technically
like,
had it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No, but yeah, I mean that minute part
yeah,
of it with the soundtrack, it's like when you have that noise, when you have
right,
that sound in the movie, you
yeah,
get distracted. And I
yeah.
noticed that's what was happening, is that I was getting
Did you hear?
distracted.
Did you notice how quickly they cut out Sublime in this movie?
Oh yeah, they had the five
Where,
second rule. They
yeah,
had the 5 second,
he
like,
slides down into the window. It's like I don't practice.
yeah, and then just turn
Like
that
what?
shit down.
Like yeah, yeah. Just pulled that knob right
Yeah.
down.
See, you can't, we don't have to pay you
Yeah,
$11,000.
yeah.
Fucking, we only
We'll
played
just
it for
put your
5 seconds.
poster up in the background and people go, did I just hear? Oh yeah, there's the poster.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's what I did.
But yeah, I was just like, I was noticing that, but um kills. What's the top kill in this movie?
I don't know. I was just gonna say real quick
No.
that did you say no?
I said, "Oh,
Oh, okay. I was just gonna say real quick the hand acting and like the visual. Like, there's a lot of practical effects in this movie that are
hmm.
pretty cool. Like the hand makeup is good, especially after he sharpens his fingers in the thing and the pencil sharpener. And Son of the Beach is the principal, the dude from Son of the Beach TV
Yeah,
show.
because we need more pop references in this
I mean,
goddamn
what
movie."
it wasn't a pop reference at the time though. It was just like
Yeah,
Polly Shore being in a movie. Like
I
it was
knew
just
that. Yeah.
that was both
Do
at
you
the
think
time.
Pauly
But
Shore was pretty bummed because when he went in there, they kept telling him he was too old for the fucking like Seth Green part?
he probably did try to get the Anton
Yeah.
part.
Come on,
If I
man.
just shave my hair, I'll
Yeah.
look young. Um, but yeah, nah. What was your original thing that you said
The
though?
kill.
Because I
The
the
kill. What's your
kills.
top
Yeah.
kill?
So I don't know, man. I mean, you don't really get to see any kills, so they're mostly off camera kills. So I gotta go with I like Fulton's kill, but I also like the cops as a duo.
The
Like the
cops. That's
cop
where I was
kills.
gonna go because
Yeah.
of how frantic it is on
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
the needles down,
Yeah.
put the needles down. They kept on like yelling that,
And
and
the
he
way he winds it that one time, he's put the
yeah
dang needles down, Anton.
yeah
Like he's all scared and shit. Like, what the fuck?
right. And I thought that was really good because okay, you're building up the tension, you're building up what's gonna happen, what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna fucking happen. You can get stabbed to
But
death by fucking
that's the great part where he's like, I think you should, and he shoots him in the head, and he's
yeah
like, well, I was gonna say I think you should do what the cop said, but
yeah.
fuck it, kill him.
um but yeah, I'll agree on like let's
Cop
take this
kills.
movie,
Yeah.
let's make it super fucking serious. Okay. Possession of one body part,
Yeah.
a hand,
Uh-huh.
you
Gay.
know. I think, yeah, that just keep
That
pissing
movie's already out there. It's
everywhere.
called
Yeah.
Pervert.
Right. But like you can't do too much of Evil Dead 2, because
Yeah.
it could have easily been, Evil
Yeah.
Dead 2, where he's holding his hand on the floor and just
Hmm.
give me back my hand.
Yeah.
But they stayed away from that, thank God.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I didn't see any Lee over, but man, I
Right.
would like to see this. It's like a super serious horror movie, you know, about like if I don't do what the hand tells me to do, he starts hurting me.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
would have been great. Like a couple of times where the hand's just like,
He just grabs his balls and he squeezes. He's like, all
right,
right, I'll do it.
yeah, and just starts like starts like doing crazy stuff, like hurting himself, and
Yeah.
because the hand is now we
Yeah.
don't need a druid witch,
Yeah.
fucking or
Yeah.
whatever. He got a blood transfusion and shit, or something, and now the hand is possessed and whatnot. I think that would have been cool.
I think it would be cool to see it in a serious manner.
Right.
But also with this movie, like with this movie, it's supposed to be funny, but also they they realize how silly they are, and they make sure they point that out. Because
Right.
like when like the fucking Mick, Seth Green's character, is like, take some Anton time, and he's like, no, not this time. This time, and he's like, no Kevin Costner speeches. Let's just go.
Right. Right.
Like,
Yeah, that shit's
like
good.
that like those things where it's like, we get it. We get what we are. We know what we are, and we're
Hmm.
gonna point it out. Like I like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
I mean, the sidekick characters, I say kind of like a second thought, but they
yeah,
fleshed them out really well
yeah,
to where they did stuff.
yeah. They're mad
So,
at first, and then they get over it, and they're
yeah,
just his boys again.
yeah.
That's a cool concept for a comedy, I guess. Not necessarily for like a serious version
Serious
of
though.
it. Yeah,
Well, no,
they would have
they
to
just
play a
got
different type of
the
character,
serious version is the ones that come back to life and say, you should kill yourself.
or maybe they're just trying to kill him. It's their revenge movie.
Right.
Like he's possessed, his hand's crazy, he kills his friends, and then the rest of the movie is them trying to kill him, but
Right.
not from his perspective. Like they're pissed off and they're like, man, fuck him for acting like that. We
Yeah.
didn't do shit to him.
Yeah, they're just haunting him now.
Yeah.
But anything else that you want to talk about
So, I mean,
this?
so many things. I could do this forever.
Oh
I
yeah,
love
yeah,
this. I
I
love this
understand.
movie. Let's just skip it.
Yeah.
I've said everything.
All right, Jacob. Well, in that case, is it a thrill or a kill?
Oh, it's super thrilling.
I'll give it a thrill.
Yeah.
I'll say that. I am glad I finally got to sit down and watch this. Okay.
Yeah,
Cult
it's like you're
classic.
telling me that for my benefit.
Yeah, I'm like trying to, especially when I give it 1 star. Fucking so you just take it easy or some shit, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it a cult classic?
I think kind of in the comedy horror realm. Um, but like
The
mainstream,
way you
like
talk about it, hell yeah, it's a cult of one, motherfucker.
nah, man, there's tons of people. There's a reason this movie's $40 on VHS.
Right.
Like it's one of the more popular, underground things because it got looked over at the time.
Yeah, it's
So
$40 because no one bought this piece of shit and it's all in the dumpster.
nah.
This
But
movie was made for like 25 million and made 4 million.
what was the numbers on this? Was that accurate?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
It was made
Yeah,
for
I knew.
25 and it
Yeah,
made 4.
yeah, I knew it was like super overlooked. I didn't
Right.
like.
But then
I
again, you
I
don't
I
release a
feel
horror
like
movie in April. You release it in October.
I like this movie feels so Halloweeny to me. Like
Right.
every aspect, and I think a lot of it is the colors that you mentioned earlier. Is like
Mm-hmm.
those colors make it feel Halloween,
Right.
like this, like what we have going on. But yeah. So I feel like it's a cult classic.
I'll say yeah. I'll say it's a cult classic. All right. Do I need to ask if you're going to the theater? Because I know you are.
Fuck yeah, I'm going to theater to see this shit at
Nah,
least
I'm
once.
good.
I watched it 5 times this week.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I
Uh,
love this movie. Like, yeah, big time.
well, you got to have one, right? All right, Jacob, what's your star?
5.
I am going to give it a 4 star. Okay.
That's good.
I
That's
like it a
fair.
little bit more.
Yeah.
Am I going to watch it again? Maybe, but I'm not really sure.
I
You
would
know,
say try and watch it again because maybe now that like the pressure is off of like I gotta watch this fucking movie. Jacob's super excited. I've never seen it. Like maybe
not in
watching
a
it again.
review
Right.
type of
Now you
round.
can like relax in it and kind of just sit back and be like, huh,
Just
yeah,
watch the Sow.
yeah. Just yeah, the Dawa.
The
Just
Dawa. Yeah,
watch
watch the
Dawa.
Dawa.